A king promised his wife a palace in heaven. On earth, he built a monument of tears, a poem in white marble. Welcome to the English Lens, where we share amazing stories to help you improve your English. You can practice your listening and learn new words by shadowing, which means listening and repeating after me. Let's begin. Our story begins in the heart of India in the 1600s. The land was ruled by the Mughal Empire, a dynasty of powerful Muslim emperors. They were known for their love of art, architecture, and poetry. In the year 1612, a prince named Khurram married a Persian princess named Ardramand Banu Begum. It was not just a political marriage. It was a deep and true love story. The prince was so captivated by her beauty and wisdom that he gave her a new name, Mumtaz Mahal. It means the chosen one of the palace. For the next 19 years, they were inseparable. Mumtaz Mahal was not just his wife. She was his best friend and his most trusted advisor. She traveled with him everywhere, even on military campaigns. He shared all his secrets with her. They had 14 children together. Then, in 1631, a tragedy occurred. The prince was now the emperor, Shah Jahan, which means king of the world. He was fighting a campaign in the south. Mumtaz Mahal was by his side, as always. She was about to give birth to their 14th child. The birth was successful, and a healthy girl was born. But soon after, Mumtaz Mahal became very ill. There was nothing the doctors could do. As she lay dying, she asked her husband for 4 promises. She asked him to take good care of their children. She asked him to be kind to his people. She asked him to live a good life. And for her final wish, she asked him to build a monument so beautiful that the world would never forget their love. Mumtaz Mahal died. She was 39 years old. The story says that Emperor Shah Jahan was consumed by grief. He went into deep mourning for 2 years. He stopped listening to music. He stopped wearing fancy clothes and jewels. His hair turned white. The court was filled with sadness, but he remembered his promise. He would build a monument for his beloved wife. It would be a monument unlike any the world had ever seen. It would be a symbol of his eternal love and his immense sorrow. He chose a site on the banks of the Yamuna River in the city of Agra. The land was bought from a nobleman, and construction began in 1632. It would take 22 years to complete. The emperor brought together the greatest minds of his empire and beyond. He summoned architects from India, Persia, the Ottoman Empire, and even Europe. The head architect was likely a man named Ustad Ahmad Lahori. Over 20,000 workers and artisans came to Agra to build the dream of their heartbroken emperor. The materials they used came from all over Asia. The main structure is made of pure white marble. This marble was brought from quarries in Rajasthan, over 200 miles away. It was transported by a fleet of 1,000 elephants. But the Taj Mahal is not just white. It is decorated with precious and semi-precious stones from across the known world. Jade was brought from China. Crystal came from China and Tibet. Lapis lazuli was imported from Afghanistan. Turquoise came from Tibet. Sapphires were sourced from Sri Lanka, and cornflower or rare diamonds were brought from other parts of India. The stones were not just glued on. The artisans used a technique called pietra dura. They carved delicate flowers and intricate designs into the hard white marble. Then, they carefully inlaid the colorful stones into the marble, piece by piece, to create breathtaking patterns. The result is a glowing, shimmering surface that changes color with the light of the sun and the moon. The main building is a mausoleum, a tomb for Mumtaz Mahal. It stands on a large square platform made of marble. At each corner of the platform stands a tall, slender tower called a minaret. These minarets are not just for decoration. They were designed to lean slightly outward. The reason for this was genius. If there was ever a major earthquake, the minarets would fall away from the main tomb, protecting it from damage. The mausoleum itself is perfectly symmetrical. It has a massive central dome that rises like a giant pearl into the sky. This grand dome is surrounded by 4 smaller domes. The entire structure is reflected in a long pool of water that leads to its main gate. This reflection creates a stunning double image, making the Taj Mahal appear to float on water. Inside the mausoleum, the air is quiet and cool. The sunlight filters through delicate marble screens that are carved with incredible skill. In the very center, under the main dome, are the false tombs of Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan. These are beautiful cenotaphs, decorated with the pietra dura flowers and inlaid with precious stones. The actual bodies of the emperor and his wife are buried in a simple crypt in a chamber directly below, in accordance with Muslim tradition. The entire complex is a walled garden representing the Islamic idea of paradise. The gardens are divided by water channels which represent the rivers of milk, honey, wine, and water ascribed in the Quran. The green trees and flowers provide a beautiful contrast to the brilliant white marble. For 22 years, the sounds of construction filled Agra. The chipping of stone, the calls of the workers, the rumble of elephants. Shah Jahan would often look out from his palace in Agra, watching his promise to Mumtaz Mahal take shape. Finally, in 1653, the Taj Mahal was complete. It had cost an estimated 32 million rupees, a fortune beyond imagination. The world stood in awe. It was more than a building. It was a feeling made of stone. It was grief, love, and beauty, all frozen in marble. But Shah Jahan's own story did not have a happy ending. In 1658, just a few years after the Taj Mahal was finished, his son, Aurangzeb, seized power. Aurangzeb was a strict and ambitious man. He imprisoned his own father in the Agra fort, a palace fortress located a short distance from the Taj Mahal. For the last 8 years of his life, Shah Jahan was a prisoner. But his cell had a small window, and from that window he had a perfect view of the Taj Mahal glowing in the distance. He spent his final days staring at the monument he built for his wife, until his own death in 1666. His son, Aurangzeb, had him buried in the Taj Mahal, next to Mumtaz Mahal. So the great monument built for one person became the final resting place for 2. It is the only thing in the entire perfectly symmetrical complex that is not symmetrical. Shah Jahan's tomb, placed next to his wife's, breaks the symmetry. It is a final, quiet reminder of the man who arrived later, changing the building forever. Today, the Taj Mahal is one of the most famous buildings in the world. Millions of people visit every year. They come to see its beauty. They come to hear the story of the emperor who loved his wife so much that he built her a monument that would outlive empires. The white marble changes color throughout the day. At dawn, it looks soft pink. Under the midday sun, it shines a brilliant white. As the sun sets, it glows a warm orange, and on a moonlit night, it appears to be made of silver, dreamlike and magical. It is more than a tomb. It is a promise kept. It is a king's love letter to his queen, written in stone for all time. Thank you for listening to this story on the English Lens. I hope you enjoyed it and practiced your English. If you did, please subscribe to the channel for more stories to help you learn.